Brian Grimes, your real estate mentor, back with another action-packed session. Today, we're going to break down your 9 to 5 escape plan for 2025. This is the same strategy that I used. I know many others who have used this strategy as well to break free from the 9 to 5. It actually got me out of the 9 to 5 around age 30, and many others kind of within that age range. So, definitely a proven strategy. If you're new to I'll kind of break down how the strategy works high level. It's really going through this 3-step process: the trap, how to get you stuck in the 9 to 5, the play, kind of how to get out and how to reposition this thing, and then your 9 year, your 3 year exit strategy. So this is how you'll get out of that 9 to 5 in about 3 years if you start to lay out this roadmap. And then we'll talk about kind of next steps, how you can get started ASAP. If you're new to the channel, like, comment, subscribe, leave a comment that says I subscribed. For everyone who leaves that comment, I'll send you instant access to one of our free real estate trainings. And we're going to be hosting a free real estate training new webinar coming up, I think on Tuesdays. That'll be coming up. Guys, if you're interested in any of our programs, we have our Boots on the Ground program where we find, finance, rehab, tenant, and manage properties for you. We have a couple of openings for April. We kind of booked out for March. We'll only take on a couple of people every month. So if you're interested, just reach out, DM me, Boots on the Ground. Of course, we have our community group. If you just want to tap in and learn some of the VIP content, just DM me cash flow. If you're on YouTube, you can click the link in the description and kind of tap in there. And then we have the next real estate ride along tour, May 31st, where you'll spend a day with me in Philly touring properties. So let's get into this thing. What is the 9 to 5 escape plan for 2025? In order to understand it, and maybe you're of the mindset that I'm of, maybe you're not. My mindset has always been like, I really hate the 9 to 5. I wanted to get out as quickly as possible. I think I worked a 9 to 5 for maybe 5 years. And then I was out because I was always aware of the trap of it. When I looked at it, I always like to think out long term with what I would apply my time to. So if you're going to be like let's say you want to be a lawyer, and your goal is to become a partner. That's like the highest level. If you're going to work at a law firm, now I'm a partner at a law firm. Look at the lifestyle of the partner. Do you want that lifestyle? Are they super busy? Do they spend time with their family? Are they comfortable financially? Are they still kind of wealthy or rich, but paycheck to paycheck? Look at the lifestyle. So when I looked at the lifestyle of certain things, I didn't want to do it. And when I looked at the 9 to 5 lifestyle, I didn't want to do it forever, because I looked at ultimately, where does that lead you at, 55, 65? Does that leave you in a place where you want to be or not? If the answer is not, then don't work towards it. Don't build towards that. You have to escape. So recognizing the trap. The trap is your income goes up. So line one, your income goes up, but then your expenses go up. As soon as you get more income coming in, higher paycheck, you get bigger house, you get bigger expenses, you have your family. Some of your expenses are naturally going to go up, even if you don't try to up your expenses. If you just have a family, you just upped your expenses. You have to get the bigger house because you're going to outgrow the current house. Your bills are going to go up. You're going to have what we call big bills. I used to I used to have a guy I worked under in a sales organization, and he was like 35, I was 25, and he used to always say, I got big bills. And I would look at him and say, you make so much money. He's making 300-400K, but he had big bills. He was spending 300-400K. He had a big family. So that leaves you stuck, that equation. You can't really beat that trap, because you then have line two. Let's say you're kind of savvy within the 9 to 5. You have high taxes. So there's a lot of tax talk right now. One state just cut income taxes, or signed some law into place yesterday, or maybe the day before, to eliminate income tax in the whole state. So taxes are like huge. But the higher you climb in the 9 to 5, because you're W-2, you're going to get taxed at the highest limits, which makes it harder to get out versus somebody who's playing a similar game, but in a much better tax position than you. Most people, when you're in that 9 to 5 employee mindset, you don't truly understand taxes at all. But part of this and getting into real estate investing is shifting your mindset to the owner operator side from a tax standpoint. And when you understand how you can control your capital and redirect it into more cash flowing assets, it just puts you in such a better position than being stuck as someone who only has W-2 income. So it's not that W-2 income is bad, and we're going to talk about that as we get through this. But if that's your only game plan, you're going to get taxed at the highest limits. You're not going to beat other people who are playing a lot less aggressively, but still just on a better, tax standpoint. And then you're trading your time for money once, and that's always a losing equation with the 9 to 5 trap. If you're just working, 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 you're getting older. The older you get, the more you feel each year, and it's like you're running out of time. You need to apply your time. I knew this when I was younger. I have to put my time into something that I can get paid over and over again for what I did, not for what I'm doing. Because you're going to burn out no matter who you are. You're going to run out of that instant trading time for money, especially if it's 1x, which is why you have to build assets that will pay you. That's why they say you get paid while you sleep. What assets that will pay you over the course of time? Hey, I built it for 6 months. It was a headache, but now I got it set up and it's bringing in $800 a month and it's appreciating ten to $20,000 a year. That's great. Give me 10 of those. In 10 years, you'll have $1 million of appreciation and a ton of cash flow. Probably more than $1 million in appreciation. So that's the trap. And you have to be able to see the trap to avoid the trap. Some people can't see it because they don't understand the tax situation. You don't know what you can't see. Maybe there's some fear in going out and doing things on your own, taking the risk, as you would call it. When you start off, one thing I was blessed, I started off working 100% commission. So I didn't have a salary when I started off working. So I didn't fear kind of applying time to make money because I saw it happen for me in my first employment arena, we'll call it 9 to 5 type of arena. The money doesn't just follow the time, it follows your energy. If you apply your energy to something over a period of time consistently, money will appear. A lot of people don't know that or don't believe that. They only believe it in the context of the 9 to 5, that, hey, if I show up to this 9 to 5 and some time goes by, well, they're going to owe me some money for that time. They're not understanding that the entire arrangement is set up to the point where what you're doing with that time, your energy that is being spent during that time, is of a higher value than the money you're being paid. If you took your same time and applied your same energy to anything or something else, money would appear. You only trust it in the 9 to 5 setting, but what's actually happening in reality is energy is being converted into capital, and that will happen whether you do it in the 9 to 5 or you do it freelance for yourself if you applied the same amount of time and energy. But you have to trust that. There's also a 2-month delay on that money. There's not a 2-month delay in the 9 to 5, but in reality, there's about a 2-month delay between when you put the energy out into whatever task, real estate investing, and results start coming back in, and capital and what we'll call like forms of abundance will start coming back in. It's about a 2-month delay on your energy. Maybe 6 months, depending on who you are. But once you get the ball rolling, you get the ball rolling. It's kind of the bottom line. Guys, if you're getting value, like, comment, subscribe. Leave a comment that says I subscribed. If you want to join our 24/7 cash flow community, click the link in the description on YouTube. DM me cash flow on IG, or you can click the link in my bio on IG. It's $27 to join. You'll get access to a lot of our VIP course content, some behind the scenes stuff. We're also going to be releasing like very discounted ride along seats for community members. I'm going to drop that later this week. So there's all types of benefits there. But to me, being a part of a community is very important. I talked about that a lot last time. Let's get into the next section. And guys, if you have any questions, drop them in the chat section, drop them in the comment section. We'll answer them as we flow. Share the content with someone else who you want to get value and who needs to program their brain. If they can't see the trap, they're going to get stuck in it. You're leaving a lot of people stuck in that trap. I don't leave my people stuck in the trap. I'll educate them. They can make their own decisions from there. The play. So what is the play? How do you start to leverage your 9 to 5? Because once again, your 9 to 5 is not bad. There are some elements of it, right? Because all the people you see who are like, I'm Mr. Real Estate, I'll never do the 9 to 5. They did the 9 to 5. Hate to burst your bubble. I told you, I did the 9 to 5 and I worked my way out. A lot of these guys did, if not all of them, in my opinion. All of them worked in some form of a 9 to 5 for a duration of time, and they leveraged real estate to build themselves out. To me, there's a skill. There are some do's and don'ts for building yourself out of your job. It's not just a snap your finger. Some people are very impulsive and they think they're going to get a course, and that course is going to go from 0 to 60, like quit my job, 100% real estate. And that happens for some people. Like, I promise you, that happens for some people. Doesn't happen for a high enough percentage of people for that to be my 100% strategy. I'm a little bit more conservative than that. But doing what we're going to talk about in this play, it does work. If you follow this strategy, you can just use your 9 to 5 to build your way out. And that's what I did. And if you do it the right way, you can do it in about 3 years. It's not going to take you too long. Not with the amount of knowledge you got and resources you guys have access to. I didn't have access to any of this. No form of me that I have access to reach out to ask questions to help me to navigate. I had no form of me. I just had to figure it out. But having a form of me to reach out to, I mean, you can navigate this definitely in 3 years if you want to. So you have your job. Your job equals capital, not comfort. That's mind reprogramming. Part of the play is reprogramming your mind. This job is here for capital. That money goes into a separate account. If you only have one bank account, open another one, open an LLC, and put the money in there. And every dollar that goes in there, that gets invested. This is capital, not comfort. We're not up in anything. And we're building out. If you apply a consistent focus, you can build out in 3 years. An inconsistent focus, it could take you 10 years. But there's no reason it needs to take you that long, in my opinion. But you can go at your own pace. There's also no rush for some of us. Some of us are like, well, I love my job. I love what I do. And that's fine. You'll love it a lot more when you have cash flow and you don't have to depend on it. You can qualify for loans when you have a W-2. So it's not a race to get out of the W-2, in my opinion. It's a race to not be dependent on your 9 to 5 in the W-2. Not be solely dependent. Not being solely dependent happens sooner than you think. And I'll explain as we get to the next section. But you can qualify for more loans with the W-2 than you can without it. Without it, if you had no other forms of income, you would have to use different types of specialty lenders. Not that they don't exist and not that you can't navigate that, but it just becomes a little bit harder than if you have any form of consistent income like a 9 to 5 and a W-2. So while you have these things, you can also qualify for more credit products, business credit and the like, all of it, because even some of these business credit cards require personal guarantee. So you can stack your credit up, get more credit cards, more credit lines prior to leaving that 9 to 5, prior to ditching it. It's part of your transition. So if you look at the job correctly, if you look at the income as capital, not comfort, and then you start shifting that capital to be invested, build your credit, stack your credit as well, apply for more credit cards, get more credit, increase your limits. You can increase your limits much easier when you have a 9 to 5 or a W-2 because the creditors view it as safer. For the average person, it is. And then get as many loans as possible issued, get as many lines of credit issued. So that's how you start to set yourself up. Next is the down payment money. You can actually qualify for more down payment assistance, and you can come to the table with less of a down payment when you have a 9 to 5 and W-2 more consistently. Once again, not that there aren't specialty lenders who will do the same, but it requires some at times more experience. And you also have the capital. You have consistent cash flow to finance your education and acquire assets while you're still at your 9 to 5 and W-2. It's almost a safety net. Your 9 to 5, realistically, if you look at it the right way, is your partner in real estate investing. It's the best partner. It's a silent partner. It has no equity ownership. And it just, you show up, you get money, you take that money, you buy more assets, you build your education faster. As you get older, you start valuing mentorship more because you want to go faster. You start looking at it and saying, like, I don't got 3 years to try to figure this out on my own. When you're like 20 something, you're like, oh, I'll figure it out. I can take on the world. As you get older, you just like, I don't have the time. I want to go faster. Finance your education. I mean, even when I started, even though there weren't what I viewed as like legitimate mentorships, there were programs, but there weren't really mentorships. There wasn't like, yo, we're going to hop on a Zoom call one on one and break it down for you. So you could get educated, but you would have to buy like a book or something like that, which wasn't customized. It didn't apply, not all of it. But even then, I bought those books. You have to finance your education if you want to go faster. So being of this mindset is setting yourself up for the play, which is the 3-year exit strategy, which we're going to get into next. Guys, if you're getting value, like, comment, subscribe, leave a comment that says I subscribe, share the content with someone else who you want to get value. If you want to tap into our 24/7 cash flow community, just click the link in the description or DM me cash flow. We have our next ride along tour once again, May 31st. We'll probably see about 15 properties. We're going to see some really nice deals, though, some unique assets to see, especially in West Philly. There's a couple flips we're working on that are they're going to be at the finish line and in kind of like a mid phase on another one. So it'll be very interesting. And if you're interested in our Boots on the Ground program, just DM me Boots on the Ground. Reach out and say Boots on the Ground. Raise your hand because we only have a few spots open. I can't build houses for everyone. I mean, that's like the most obvious thing in the world. Like, I can't do it. There's a finite limit. So we just put, by the way, in the Boots on the Ground program, 3 deals under contract for different investor owners, which is what our clients are, in the last, I would say, 4 days. So there's a bit of a market shakeout that I'll speak on, which is a little off topic, but it's worth talking about. There's a market shakeout right now, and you have to understand that real estate is cyclical. It's seasonal, and March is here, spring is here. It's peak season. So a lot of sellers are going to come in delusional with their property that they've been sitting on all winter, and they think it's magically worth 50K more, and it's not. And it takes them usually the month of March to kind of get their head back in shape, and then they start price dropping into range for investors. So I've seen that happening. Now that we're getting to the end of March, people are like, maybe my price was wrong. It's like, yeah, your price was always wrong. So we're starting to get a few, more deals trickling in. But 3 deals in 4 days, that's looking good. It's looking like we're going to have some market momentum into April. I am seeing the market appreciate in Philly. I'm seeing deals that were 210 last year. They're, 245, 235 in C-class neighborhoods, quite frankly, in C-class neighborhoods. So there's some good market appreciation going on right now, is what I can tell you. And that bodes well for the future, because that, when you start seeing that positive momentum, it opens up a spread for investors. So I'm starting to see some really good things, even though to the average bear, it would feel like a market compression. To me, I'm seeing more just like a shakeout. It's like the bear's getting up from hibernation. It's shaking off the dust. And now we're going to start to pick up a little bit of speed. So what is the 3-year exit strategy? Year 1, you just got to get your hands on 2 cribs. You need 2 houses in year 1, which is why I would say, especially if you've been working for a while, you're saving, you're serious about this. If you're serious about this, one house is fine in your first year, but really your goal is 2 cash flowing rental properties. 2 rental properties that are established. Each one, this one brings in 600. This one brings in 800. You got about 1,400 coming in a month, over a G coming in a month. And you've proven to yourself that you can start to now you can dip one toe out of the 9 to 5, I'll call it. Now you start looking at your boss sideways. You're like, bro, 2 more of these. I don't know. I'm going to do a countdown on you. You start getting that type of energy when you get into the gig. Year 2, 2 houses in year 1 is possible. I think you do need some guidance probably to execute on that easily and comfortably. You could try to figure that out, but you'll probably only get 1 done, and it'll be a headache, and you'll overspend. You might overspend 40, 50K trying to do that and figure it out. Just the community could save you from that and accelerate you. Two is just that golden number. That's right where you want to be, in my opinion. You want to be at about two. Bring in that cash flow. Year two, four houses. And this is what I've seen. Most people think linearly, if you did two in year one and year two, you would only do two more houses. But you're going to get so much better, so much faster, more systems, better lenders. I want to do about four houses in year two. I'm going to double naturally because I'm going to weed down and window myself down into a crew that I can now feed whoever did those first two. If I liked them or I sub some people out, got some different relationships, I'm going to run them through four houses in year two. And I have the lenders, the relationships, the history, and I have more cash flow coming in to solve problems. And that's what cash flow is. When you're of this mindset, cash flow, once again, capital, it's not just job capital. It's not just your job money that's capital, not comfort. All money is capital, not comfort. So as you have cash flow coming in here, that cash flow is just there to allow you to do this more comfortably. You're not trying to save the 1,500 so you can go to Jamaica. Like that's not the mentality you're on. All this money is just making this easier. And then when you have six properties, you have about 3 grand a month coming in. You're already at escape velocity. You're already at escape velocity, in my opinion, because in year three, you're going to probably do eight just naturally off of momentum. You're used to putting out a lot of offers. Deals are always coming in. You know how to analyze them. You have the crew to build them. You have the lenders to finance them. You know how to tenant them. You have the management in place or you're managing them. There's not really much guesswork. There's just navigation of individual deals. So you can easily stack eight. You could probably do 10. By year three of this, I believe I did 56. But it's not that you have to go that hard. And it's not that serious. Like there's almost no reason to go that hard, in my opinion. Keep your W-2 while you're doing it. You'll have passive income coming in from this strategy. And once you hit 1.5x your living expenses in cash flow, which you can usually do, for the average person, they don't make that much money. So when you bring in an extra 3 grand a month, that usually covers most of your living expenses. That usually covers most of your living expenses, if you think about it. Once you have enough cash flow coming in to cover your living expenses, and you're already of the mindset that capital income is capital, not comfort, you're living below your means, you're living pretty standard, you're going to achieve escape velocity essentially whenever you want. I would say sometime in year three, if you're more conservative, maybe year four, it'll be at the point where even if you're bringing in 70,000 through the job, through the W-2, by the time that gets hacked down in taxes, let's say you're making 100K, they hack it in taxes, it's 72K. And now you got, 30 something, 36,000, 40,000 a month coming in. I mean, a year coming in cash flow. You're just not going to have the same level of care about being stuck in that 9 to 5. Here's some next steps I'll leave you with. I see a couple of questions. Here's some next steps I'll leave you with. One, you're going to need an LLC. Never try to do real estate investing in your personal name. Just do it in an LLC. Set it up. It's pretty easy to set up. You can reach out to me if you have questions about that. Always set up your LLC. Build your team. Your real estate investing team is everything, which is why you need to be a part of a legitimate community where you can connect with like-minded investors across the country, different contractors, architects, engineers. It's all about the team. Everywhere you invest, you need a team and the same team. All those names I was just naming, foremen, property inspectors. You need somebody who can just freelance and run the L&I and meet with inspectors, and you need all types of relationships. But once you learn that REI team, you can navigate anywhere in the country, because some markets are going to be buy and hold markets. Others will be flip markets. I haven't seen any markets that are neither buy and hold nor flip. So that means you can invest everywhere. You just need to learn how to invest and what systems you need, what relationships you need. Pick a target market is a great next step, depending on who you are and where you want to invest. If you're like me, I want to invest in cheap sister cities with high growth potential, which Philly is. Sister city to New York, very high growth potential. Number five on Zillow's top 10, sixth largest city in America. A lot of historical background, a lot of job growth. Big college city, 50 colleges. Last step is always get educated, and the first step is always to get educated, because the more educated you are, the faster you can navigate issues, the faster you can grow, the less mistakes you make. You make less mistakes, you save more money, and you reinvest more money. That's the way to. That's the way to do it. So get educated. You start there. The more educated you are, the less capital you need. The more of your actual money will get into the real estate versus in some scam contractor's hand. Because I've seen, I've had 40, 50K of my own money go into a scam contractor's hand. I've heard of people putting as much as 250 to half a million into scammers' hands. Actually, upwards of 800,000 all in one sitting. I mean, that'll sober you up. Um, Here we got a question. Doreen says, "How do I speak with you in regards to the boots on the ground program?" Just drop a comment. Just drop a comment that says "boots on the ground," or yeah, that's what I would do. Or just go to workwithgrimes.com /cash flow, and you can connect with me. You can shoot me a text there at that number that's scrolling as well. But I would just leave a comment, and then my assistant will reach out, and you can kind of connect with me and my team. You can also DM me on IG. That's an easy way to get a hold of me. So reach out with me directly. Somebody said, how can I possibly obtain? So somebody says, or John Gaines says, I have a rental property and someone who rents a room for my current house. They bring me about 1,500 monthly. I have 70K saved. Am I ready to move forward? Yeah. 70K is like, you're ready to play ball. I would say if you have 50K, you're ready to play ball. Once you have 50K, you're ready to, go to the moon, to a degree. So 70K is definitely enough for you to go out and start to build out what we're talking about. Start building out some relationships, get a target market, and go out on a plan to get, 10 properties and really get some escape velocity. Because there's an easy threshold. I would say 10 houses is easily escape velocity from what I've seen, and just not caring at all about the 9 to 5 and not feeling stuck in it at all. And just you essentially at that point, you're using it. You become the user of the 9 to 5. You're just like, well, it's here. It's going to get me another 30 houses. And at some point, I'm just going to be at like 20K a month, 30K a month. I'm out of here. I'm out of here. And I'm not working for anyone. It's a retirement plan. So I would say with 70K, you're definitely ready to go out and hit these types of targets. This trying to get back in here. You're ready to hit a 2 or 3 year target where you're crossing over like 10 properties right between this point in time. You're getting to like 10 to 14 properties cash flowing. You figure target cash flow 600 with where prices are going, probably 700-800 a month per property, just with natural appreciation of these assets and where we're seeing prices go. Prices are staying high, is what I'm telling you guys. They're appreciating right now. In response to the tariffs and all the things we've been talking about, you're going to see rents push up. Yeah, an extra 200. And if rates cut down, it's going to unlock more cash flow per property. But yeah, that'll put you at like almost 10,000 a month. That's escape velocity. That's escape velocity to me. 10K a month to just wake up and just run your own show. And you're always going to have other passions, other things that you're probably pursuing. So there can be more capital coming in there as well. So I would say, yeah, you're definitely ready to move forward, get to the next steps, start taking next steps. Get as educated as possible so that you make less mistakes is my best recommendation. But if you do the right things with 70, you can definitely stack it up. You might be able to flip it up into 100 and like keep running, keep buying, keep flipping up. You'll definitely appreciate either way as long as you hold on to as many properties as possible. I think that's the smartest thing to do. Even if you just took it and poured it into two or three houses, and then those properties appreciated 50 to 100K each over the next 5 to 7 years, which is not that much for this market. That would put you in a really good position. You open up some credit lines, you do a cash out refi, you're cash flowing. You're even off those three houses, you're bringing in 700, 800 a house, 2 grand to maybe 2,500 a month. That would be a game changer. I'll take 2,500 a month off 70K. I give you 70K, you give me 2,500 a month and the possibility of appreciating $300,000 and tax losses. Let's go. I'll give you that 70K all day, especially if I'm getting it from a fixed hard asset, getting those benefits, tax losses, and potential for cash flow, potential for appreciation in a obviously appreciating market in the affordable housing crisis with Trump tariffs. Yeah, that's kind of a no brainer. Um, what is the? Here's another question from Antonio. And guys, if you have any questions, drop them in the chat section, drop them in the comment section. If you want to tap into our 24/7 cash flow community, DM me cash flow, click the link in bio, or drop a comment. Actually, if you're in YouTube land, you can just click the link in the description on YouTube and you can tap in. Just trying to plug the charger in here. But if you have any questions, drop them in the chat and we'll just kind of keep flowing. What's the minimum amount to invest? I would say, to me, one, it depends on what strategy you're going with. So if you are a first time home buyer, you still qualify for a lot of that no or low money down, 3% down, 1% down. They have a lot of different options. Then you can go in with 10K or less and try to do some serious damage. But you need to be highly educated. But it's possible. It's 100% possible. Now I would say on average, if you're just a straight investor, you're gonna need today probably around like 25 to 30K to where you can approach a lender. You can unlock some business credit cards, some stuff like that. You got 30K liquid. You're ready to get on the dance floor, I would say, and try to go out and get a good deal, which everybody can get a good deal if you have the knowledge. If your goal is just to do one good deal this year, just give me one. Get me 700, 800 a month. That'll change my mindset. And that will change your mindset if you're making 3K, if you're making 3K a month, which there's a lot of, people who are working who are making that 3K a month. And you grab a crib and it's paying you 700, 800 a month. That's going to change your mindset. That's going to be life changing extra money at that stratosphere. So everything can kind of help. But I would say 30K if you want to get into kind of rehabbing houses and doing a burst strategy. That's a little bit more comfortable to me. If I'm just doing a house hack straight up, first time home buyer, I ran in with 9K and had the seller's assist pay 4K against it. I came out of pocket 5K for my first duplex. So I'm all about that. You can start very low. You need at least a 620 credit score. But that's that. If you want to like really play ball, that's what I'm saying. If you have 70, you can kind of play ball because you only need about 30. So once you have 70, I think Gina, I saw you just drop a comment. I think you got another deal. I was like, damn, did Gina get another deal? Somebody told me you got another deal today or yesterday. But that's pretty cool. But yeah, you can invest 70K. You can definitely get it done, in my opinion. Wow, 2 deals. That was fast. 2 deals. So you're at the year one. 1 year, two deals, and you can kind of knock it out. Antonio said, "Was that business credit only?" Um, no, no. I would say, well, yeah. I mean, if you have a strategy with business credit where you're going to do like an 18-month intro rate and come into the game and kind of get it done, you can definitely get money off of that business credit card and go out and do a deal. I think it's a little bit riskier. Like it's not something that fully fits within my personal risk tolerance, right? I'm a conservative person. So that doesn't fully fit in my risk tolerance. So I can't recommend, yeah, everybody go out and rip a, you know, boost your business credit 150K and just grab that shit and run. I can't necessarily tell you that, but it can work, and that is the right way to do it. Don't do it like when I saw people doing it, they had much less education out there about this. People were doing it on their personal credit and then just running up their utilization, and it was destroying their personal credit. Then they weren't able to refinance out. So doing that strategy on business credit makes sense. That is the right way to do it. It is a little riskier than doing it with cash because if you blow your cash, you don't owe anybody anything. If you blow the business credit cash, there's still going to be a personal guarantee on that typically, or some type of collateral. So it's never scot free in my opinion. There's either a PG, or if you're doing it all through your company, there's going to be some collateral aspect to secure the loan. So you just have to be aware of it. But you can do it with business credit, and there are strategies. Like for me, if I got business credit, I mean, would you try to get a house? Maybe. I probably would just go into more creative financing, and I would learn how to get in front of motivated sellers and uncover deals. I would be going to auctions. I would be learning a lot of high level strategy with that business credit where I could really flip small amounts of it, take 5K of it, flip it, versus taking like 50K to 100K of business credit. I would try to flip fives off of it. If I could take 10 off the business credit card, buy a house at the auction for 10K, mark it up 30K and flip it, or mark it up even 15K and pop it, walk away with 3,500 after transfer taxes, that and then put the money back, that's a great line of credit now. That's a great play. And I'll do that to flip up more cash and then continue to learn the game. Maybe even I find a perfect deal through what I'm doing in my sourcing, and then I'll use that to get into the game. Either way, I'm going to get into the game as low to the ground as possible, depending on my cash position. But I'm not off the top ropes to go out and grab the business credit like 150K and then run that into buy and holds. To me, that would obliterate my risk tolerance. That would that would just wouldn't be me. Elena says I have an 830 credit score. Should I create the LLC in New York, New Jersey, or PA? Would it make a difference? It shouldn't be in any of those states. It should be in Wyoming. It makes a big difference. I can't go on that full Wyoming rant now, but has the best creditor protection, especially if it's a sole member entity. It's the cheapest. It's the first LLC state. There's no business tax there, no state business tax, so everything will just flow through to your personal state, and that's how you should do it. There's a long list of reasons why. I won't go on that full rant, but that's also reason to get educated because these are all things that we educate people on: LLC structuring, um, creditor asset protection, kind of thinking through that type of stuff, and then going out and just making this happen in the best locations. And it seems like your locations are right where we're at, even in like boots on the ground, because we're doing Philly. I would say New Jersey. I looked at New Jersey today. It was on the top 10 for property taxes in the country. Actually, it's number one for property taxes in the country. And it's a high income tax state as well. Prices are high. They're probably overinflated there, in my opinion. New York, very bad landlord tenant laws. New Jersey, arguably the same now, but it's township by township. So I can't really say that about New Jersey. New Jersey does not operate as an entire state in the same way that New York can kind of. So, or at least New York City. Don't want to do it there. But definitely tap in, guys. If you want to join our community, our 24/7 cash flow community, it's only $27 to join. I keep the price of $27 to keep tire kickers out. It's funny how like you don't need a big price to keep people out, to weed out the serious from the non-serious. $27 is enough. So that's the reason there's a price tag on it. I would have made it even $24.70 for the 24/7 Cash Flow University, and it'll keep people out. But I recommend just clicking that link or DMing me Cashflow, tapping in if you need education, but also to be around a community of other investors, because there are other people that are doing this. Sometimes that'll give you more confidence than, okay, well, Brian's doing it and he's talking about it and he's educated. Cool. You're going to meet a lot of people who are doing it all across the country. Some are contractors. Many are contractors, actually. A lot of contractors will come to me, say, hey, Brian, I'm a contractor. I understand this side of the biz. I don't really understand the financial aspects and how to structure. So there are a lot of contractors within the community to network with as well. Engineers, architects, all that stuff. But $27, click the link in bio. Click the link in the description on YouTube. Tap in. And if you want to join the ride along, definitely that's coming up. That's going to be a special ride along. So I would say don't miss that ride along, even if you've missed others. It's going to be a special ride along. So don't open that LLC in New Jersey, New York, or Pennsylvania. Open it out of state and foreign register it into the state. Let's get into the next level. Sorry, was my question answered? Who do I speak with on the boots on the ground program? If I want to start with a 6 or 12 unit for the boots on the ground program, how much would I have to put down? It depends. You can reach out to me. Just drop a comment that says boots on the ground, and we'll reach out once we get off the live. Or however you got here. You probably got here from like a text or a email. Just reach out. Just fire back a response and we'll get in touch. We'll get you set up with a call. But for a 6 or 12 unit, I mean, it depends on the purchase price. You typically have to put down around 10% of the dollar amount. So about 10% of the loan amount. So for a 6 unit, let's say that was selling for 600,000 and it needed 300K. So that's 900K loan, 90,000 for a 6 unit. That's what you typically are going to come to the table with a construction loan on a burst strategy deal. If you're using a 90/10 or 100% lender, somewhere between like 10, maybe 12% from what I've seen. That's how they'll fit in. So if you're trying to do bigger commercial deals, you want to have bigger commercial capital. You want to have, I would say, to be going commercial, probably you got to have over $250,000 if you want to go commercial, in my opinion. In a major city, have at least $250,000 so you can park some capital, do it comfortably, handle a mistake, handle the sewer line went out or the plumbing line went out, and it's 25,000 to fix it, because there's going to be different levels of issues on those types of deals versus something residential or even smaller multifamily. So have at least $250,000 if that's what you're trying to do. But yeah, reach out. I'll check for you in our systems as well. Did you get an email, Doreen? I'm not sure if you got an email. D say, "Yep, I'm one." You guys definitely tap in. Like I said, if you're interested. How did you get here then, Doreen? Did you get a text? Definitely reach out and tap in if you're interested in any of our programs. We have our real estate ride along tour, like I said, May 31st. That's always good too if you're thinking about boots on the ground and you want to come out and kind of see, is this real? I mean, a lot of people, especially on IG, like you see us, we're always walking through houses and kind of doing stuff, right? People are like, oh, is this real? Is this? Yeah, it's real. So come out and see it. Come out and be a part of the tour. Come see some houses. Come get educated. Come learn how houses are put back together, what the actual budgets that are being used for Um, oh, Dorian, you said you did get the email. Yeah, just shoot me back a response to the email. Just like reply and say, "Hey, boots on the ground," and then we'll just get you connected. Um, Usually everybody's here from a text or email or something of the sort. Um, but yeah, that's pretty much gonna allow you to come out and see the boots on the ground program hands on. And I think it's smart, especially if you're out of state. Like we have a lot of investors from, hey, they're from California, they're from um New York, many of them, New Jersey, North Jersey, especially where the taxes are the highest. So you're just seeking cash flow in cheaper, lower tax markets. Colorado, they could be from Hawaii. We have many people from Hawaii because it's so expensive there. One of the most expensive states. They're the most expensive state, and they're the lowest property tax state, but the property taxes are still high as hell because the prices are so high. But they're the lowest property tax state, one of the most expensive real estate states. So people who are priced out, people from Canada priced out, will reach out. But for them to come in, you can come in from a distance, see the city, see the neighborhoods, and you can start to figure out where you want to invest. And that's part of it. It's also going to show you how to navigate another city. That's what you would want to do. If you went to another city, let's say, hey, I want to invest in St. Louis. How do I get started? Get on a plane or a bus or a train, or I don't know how close you are. Go to St. Louis for that day, be meeting with a realtor, like go for the weekend. Have it set up with a realtor where you're going to see properties, or maybe multiple realtors where you're going to see properties in different sections of the city. As you're navigating that, rent a car, probably not an Uber, rent a car. You're going to be going through different neighborhoods. You're going to see contractors actually working on houses. Go get business cards. Go see who's working in the community, who's doing what. Go get cards. Go figure, go start navigating. Go meet with property management companies. Go meet with closing companies. You will be able to see a lot of that market. You'll see certain sections. I like this one over this one for these reasons. Understanding price differentials, meeting contractors, meeting with other resources and relationships. In a weekend, you can navigate an entire market, but you have to have a plan. Some people go to a REI meeting. They don't even have an elevator pitch. I'm talking about, like, if you want to get results, there's an easy way to get it. Are you serious about getting results is a better question. And then how serious? Will you take the action steps? Everybody who takes action steps, from what I've seen in real estate, they'll get results. If they stick with it, applied pressure, the real estate doesn't care that much if you win or lose. It's not necessarily pushing against you like your 9 to 5 is. Like your boss doesn't want you to get a bonus. He don't want you to get a bonus just because. Real estate's not really like that. You go out, you take your time, you find a nice deal, you get the contractors in, you get your budget put together, you get through it, you get it tenanted, you stabilize, you lick your wounds, and you do it again. You do it 3, 4 times, you got extra 2,500 coming in. And then you've proven that you can do it and stabilize and have a like and what I'm saying is, even if you had 2,500 a month coming in on 100K parked in 4 deals, 100K parked in them. And burst strategy is not about that. Burst strategy is more about trying to, keep cruising and not leave as little money in deals as possible. And you will do that over the course of time, because you will have these properties appreciate 200, 300K, and you'll just go in and cash out refinance whatever you left in. The 60K you were crying about, you'll just go and pull it back out and put it in your pocket. And then you'll keep your cash flow and you won't be crying anymore. The asset will have produced, but these assets will tend to do that over the course of time. They'll go up in value, they'll go up in rental income. They become better deals over the course of time. The longer you hold them, they mature, especially if you put in a strong rehab. So you just have to take action and prove to yourself that you can do 2 to 4 deals. Once you get past that emotionally, you will never have that question again of, is this real? That's like the sideline question of the century. Is this possible? Is this real? Is this Who will you be without that question anymore? Some of you don't even know who you would be without having that internal question of, is this possible for me? Can I really do this? Is this really real? Can it happen? You haven't even imagined the other version of, well, yeah, it happened. It's possible for me and I'm going to scale. And even if I keep doing what I enjoy doing at my 9 to 5, I'm not going to be as glued to it emotionally, energetically. I'm not going to be as tied to it. You can't pass down your 9 to 5 to your kids. It's not going to be there for your retirement. And there's no longevity. You're employee at will, which is fine. It's not the worst thing in the world. Like I said, you have to spin it. You have to make it your partner. It's either going to be your partner or your ball and chain, your golden handcuffs. Make it your partner. Make it your silent partner that does not want equity. That's just happy to be there. And I'll have a little bit more change next month in case anything goes wrong. We'll just kind of solve it. Take your bonus, dump it back into the game. If you're lucky enough to have a job where you get a bonus, take it, dump it into the game. Want to do business credit? Do your business credit. Be conservative. Understand that that's a higher stakes game. They teach it to you first so you can buy their course, but it's a higher stakes game, the business credit. You need more education, not less. Some of these programs teach you business credit before they teach you how to get money off a business credit card before they teach you how to actually invest in real estate or teach you how to invest in real estate at all. Learning how to invest in real estate is of value because the markets will ripen at times. They will get to levels where for a year you just can't miss. You're just Steph Curry. Every deal you touch is like 30K, 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 30. You'll only need 1 or 2 years like that. You don't get a million of those years. They're not infinite. They're limited. But as you stay in the game and you navigate, you learn more. You can hit years like that. You don't need many years like that, especially if you're keeping your properties. If you had 2 years like that, 3 years like that, you would go up 80, 90 properties. How many do you need? How many does one person need? I mean, I've done over 300, 400 deals. Um, how many does somebody need? How many do you want? You're building your lifestyle, not mine. You can design real estate around you. Maybe you want 10, 20 houses. Maybe you want more multifamily than single. Maybe you want to flip. Maybe you want to wholesale, creative finance, subject to lease purchase option. Just to actually help somebody to structure a LPO. Was just on a phone call last week talking to two guys, both sides of the table about a lease purchase option on a multifamily asset that's going to cash flow. It's a good deal for both of them. One guy wants to walk, one guy wants to walk in. So and that's happening, right now. We may have to come on a live session and do just a live on that transaction and how that went down. It's low money down too, like I want to say 10, 18,000 up front and then lease purchase option for the rest, keeping it on a reasonable interest rate, no banks. I mean, it's crazy. It's crazy. And complete control of a multi that's cash flowing essentially from day one and can be improved to drive major upside value. Very interesting transaction, actually. So, guys, hope this session helps. We're at about 55 minutes. Yeah, that's plenty. Hope this session helps. Like I said, if you want to tap into any of our programs, boots on the ground, reach out, get a hold of me, however you can. Um, we have our May 31st ride along. Definitely grab your tickets. Those will sell out. And once they sell out, like, don't ask me the week of the ride along. Hey, can I tap in? And always someone does. We'll definitely be sold out on this one. This one's going to be pretty epic in terms of the lineup we have. And then if you want to tap into our community group, it's $27 just to keep out the tire kickers. just to keep out the tire kickers, keep the community strong with the people who are serious enough to at least commit something. When you pay attention. So a lot of the free trainings are cool. I love doing them, and I still have them, right? But this isn't that. This is our community, and we want people who are committed, who are serious, because that makes it better for everyone else. People jump in, help people, answer questions, um, and we're constantly just keeping you guys educated and up to date on what's going on. We may do another live to talk about some of this tax stuff that's going on because it's interesting how it impacts the market when a state shifts their tax sensitivity or whether or not they're taxing income taxes. It's worth talking about and exploring from the real estate investment side of things, because it does shift the market in interesting ways. Some that are good, depending for certain strategies, some that are bad for other strategies. So it's very interesting. Guys, hope that helped. Brian Grimes, real estate mentor. I'll see you on the next one.